Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin with some breaking news. Thornton police say their officers were involved in a shooting a short time ago.
It happened on East 120th Avenue near Grant Street in North Glen, and that's where Rachel Krause, has just arrived on the scene. Rachel, what do we know at this point?
Yeah, right now what we know is that around 8 p.m. Thornton police say they found a man in the parking lot near East 120th Avenue near the interchange with I-25 in Thornton, and they tried to place this individual under arrest. He refused to comply with officers. They tased him and he pulled out a gun. Then officers fired. Now, this person was taken to the hospital. No word on how they're doing right now. And you can see behind me here still a very active police investigation here, roughly 2.5 hours after that shooting took place. Now, a lot of the area here at this Maverick gas station, along with the Denver North Hotel and the Applebee's here along East 120th Avenue, have been blocked off. Now, police are keeping people away from the area, but we are not seeing officers searching for or gathering evidence, nor have we seen them speaking with witnesses here in the area. Police say they are still continuing to investigate this shooting here and will continue to be out here for quite some time as they work to gather evidence here at the scene. Reporting live in Thornton, Rachel Krause, 9 News.
It's a busy night. We have more breaking news to tell you about, this time in Denver. 2 people are hurt after being hit by a car that ran into a bus stop. Police say a man and a woman were hit on South Federal Boulevard near Yale tonight. They were hospitalized. We know at least one of them does have serious injuries. We have a crew headed to this scene, and we'll bring you some more information as we get it on air and online as soon as it comes into the newsroom.
A former Aurora police sergeant who gained national attention for his response to the Aurora Theater shooting is now accused of committing sex crimes against children in Douglas County. We want to warn you, some of the details in this story are disturbing. We interviewed Michael Hawkins in 2017 to talk about the PTSD he experienced after responding to the theater shooting 5 years prior. According to an arrest affidavit, the 55-year-old is now accused of raping a girl and groping other children. The investigation started in 2022, but the accusations date back more than 20 years. Aurora police say Hawkins medically retired in January of 2018. A small fire burning in Clear Creek Canyon on a ridge is visible for miles. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office is calling it the Gtra Fire, named for an open space just outside of Golden.
9 News reporter Lauren is in Jefferson tonight. And Lauren, it seems like the fire is picking up from the last time we talked to you.
It is, and that's why the Sheriff's Office shut down Highway 6 from 93 all the way down to 119. That's 11 miles away. It's certainly gotten windier out here. My hair is kind of blowing all around. I've seen ash flying through the air. It smells really smoky, and you can really see the orange glow of the fire. It might be hard to see in the dark, but I can certainly see it from here. That's why about 30 minutes ago, when we were on our way to the spot, we saw dozens of cars just lining the road to sit back and watch what was going on.
Well, I'm just out getting my spin in, you know.
Wes Felto's spin was smokier than usual today, with a lot to look at over Lookout Mountain.
Well, I see smoke and a little bit of a fire line, which is a bit concerning because I live just kind of on the other side of this mountain. So a little concerning, but it doesn't look too terrible.
The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says about 10 acres burned in Clear Creek Canyon off Highway 6 near Tunnel 1. They say it was likely caused by lightning.
Never. I've never seen a fire in this area.
Leading to a view that Wes has never witnessed before, even after thousands of trips in the same exact spot.
I was doing the math on the way up because it takes a long time to get up. And so I was kind of bored and doing the math. And I've been riding this trail for about 24 or so years. And I'd say about 90 times a year. So over 2,000 easily, which is kind of nuts when I think about it.
The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says this fire isn't threatening any structures, but it is still close enough to Highway 6 that it could keep it shut down for a couple of hours. The Jeffco Sheriff's Office says that they're seeing a little bit more activity than they would like, but they're going to keep a close eye on it tonight. Live in Jeffco, Lauren Scafidi, 9 News.
It's been calm weather-wise here in the Denver metro area. Further south, it's been anything but. Look at this. Western El Paso County was pounded by hail and heavy downpours tonight. So an active day. I guess those of us who just dealt with that abnormal heat don't have much to complain about.
Yeah, Denver and areas north got a break from the severe weather we experienced yesterday. It's calm and quiet in Denver, and you can still see that big, beautiful moon just past full. Temperatures will cool back to the low 70s after highs in the 90s, but it was hot. It was dry in Denver, across Lookout Mountain, and a couple of high-base gusty thunderstorms did provide some wind and lightning in and around where that fire started. All the heavy activity is south of us now over southeastern Colorado. We're still tracking some very strong thunderstorms, dropping large hail and heavy rain. The severe thunderstorm warnings have canceled out, but La Junta, Kit Carson, Lamar, Eads, Ordway still dealing with some really heavy thunderstorm activity and some flooding tonight, even though the flash flood warning and severe thunderstorm warning have canceled out. This will be the area that will see the active weather over the next 3 hours or so. Temperatures trending a little warmer than average in the 70s through probably 5 a.m. and then it'll dip quickly into the 60s. We have another round of storms forecast for Denver for tomorrow. The timing and impact of those storms, that's coming up.
The Obamas returned to their hometown for night 2 of the Democratic National Convention.
The pair made jabs at Donald Trump while encouraging Democrats to embrace Kamala Harris as their candidate. Kyle Kark is in Chicago tonight. And Kyle, if anybody knows how to talk to the heart of Democrats and fire up the crowd, it's going to be the Obamas.
Certainly, Alex. The Democratic Party's two most gifted speakers these days spoke back-to-back tonight, former First Lady Michelle Obama and former President Barack Obama. Michelle Obama talking about the hopelessness that many Democrats felt during the Donald Trump era. And her husband, who rose from Chicago politics to ride hope to the White House, he outlined what might be a potential blueprint for Democrats to avoid a second Donald Trump presidency by framing him as essentially the incumbent in this race. Tonight, Barack Obama's familiar "Yes, we can" was transformed into "Yes, she can." He was riffing off boos about Trump with his trademark "Don't boo, vote." The crowd of Democrats here loved him playing the hits, but at some point they need to translate that into a plan of action to win a race that they say they're losing, even as polling has narrowed with Kamala Harris replacing Joe Biden atop the ticket. Now, for decades, Americans have also told pollsters that they believe that this country is moving in the wrong direction. That holds through presidents Democrat and Republican. That makes change a powerful but not unbeatable force in politics, and it makes incumbency often dangerous. So listen to how Obama essentially painted Trump as the incumbent and the sitting VP Kamala Harris as the change agent.
We do not need 4 more years of bluster and bumbling and chaos. We have seen that movie before, and we all know that the sequel is usually worse. America's ready for a new chapter. America's ready for a better story. We are ready for a President Kamala Harris.
Michelle Obama tonight warned Democrats to avoid a Goldilocks scenario where everything has to be just right about their candidate in order for them to be energized. It was a call for progressives and centrists to unite. Kamala Harris is currently backtracking from some, but not all, of the progressive policy positions that defined her run for president 4 years ago. Tonight, 2 progressive Democrats from Colorado's delegation told me that they think that there is an opening for progressive policies to appeal to some of the same disaffected, disconnected voters who saw something in Donald Trump. I talked this evening with Joe Salazar and with Representative Javier Mabry, and they pointed to the housing crisis, the high cost of living in Colorado and across the country as creating an opening for Democrats to connect with unaffiliated and independent voters who are looking for new approaches to these issues at the federal level.
And there are a lot of people who feel that neither party really represents them. And so, of course, Trump had an opening speaking to people who were disaffected about a broken system. And the way that we fight back as Democrats is acknowledging that the system is broken and acknowledging that corporate greed is the reason why you can't afford to own a home, and acknowledging that we need to change policies so that you can afford to own a home. And we're hearing that here in Chicago. And I think it's a winning message.
What I'm hearing here is about the human being and the human condition. And what Donald Trump is discussing and what he's preaching is completely the opposite of that. And it's given us an opportunity to step in and to say, look, you can have hatred, you can have bigotry, you can have, tax cuts for billionaires that are going to be on your backs. or you could take a look at the Democratic Party where we're doing things at the human level. And so it does open up the door.
Both Mabry and Salazar said that they see the addition of Tim Walz to the ticket as a sign that Harris is going to proudly defend progressive values. Now, with Harris's top policy priorities still a work in progress, just weeks into her presidential campaign, it's yet to be seen whether she's going to lean into some of those progressive ideas that also open up attacks from Donald Trump, that she's a San Francisco liberal, whether she's going to track closer to Joe Biden's approach of trying to see what he could get done by uniting both sides of the party. Kim and Alex.
Okay, well, Kyle, it was quite the night, and I think it would be fair to say, most people would say President Obama, former President Obama, had his work cut out from him following Michelle, because that crowd loved Michelle Obama.
Has received the formidable support.
It absolutely did, and I think it reinforces the fact that if she had wanted to run for president, which she has been adamant that she is not interested in, you could tell some of her distaste for the rigors of politics in her convention speech tonight, that if she ever wanted to run, she would be a very formidable candidate, and Democrats would love her. She's made very clear she's seen that up close. She's not interested.
Yeah, no go.
I think a lot of people will be talking about that black jobs comment tomorrow.
For a long time.
Kyle, thank you.
Kyle.
Oh, for sure.